What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. For those of you new to the channel, my name is Vince Warburton and this is VW Fitness, and we're gonna roll that new intro. Let's roll it. Guys, how'd you guys like that new intro? Kind of sums up everything that I kind of talk about, what this channel is all about. If that is something you're interested in, make sure you hit that subscribe and bell for notifications. And for those of you that are new to the channel, I know you probably didn't understand what just happened there. Literally, I've never had an intro video, so this is a first. Kind of a big congratulations for the channel and the growth, and obviously that comes because of all of you guys watching these videos. And I really wanted to kind of like up the channel's value in terms of, you know, quality and whatnot. I do get a lot of comments saying like the video quality is really good, but you know, we can always be better. Always be better, guys. Always striving for more, as I say. So today's video, we're gonna talk about another kind of top ingredient that I'm always looking at when it comes to pre-workouts. This is part of a small little 5-video series. I'm gonna talk about 5 different ingredients. I did L-citrulline yesterday. You guys can check out that video here. Today, we're gonna talk about caffeine. But before I jump into today's video and kind of talking about all these different things, I wanna make sure that I tell you guys that you guys can snag up some free samples still off of the website, www.vwfitness.club. Literally, guys, it's free. I know you guys don't believe me when I say it's free, but it's literally free. You add it to the cart, you put in your shipping address, it calculates your shipping, which you will pay for, but it is less than $5, guys. The majority of my orders have been actually going out to like San Diego all the way to Massachusetts. So shout out to Massachusetts, guys. Thanks for watching, I appreciate it. But yeah, they've all been paying less than $5 in terms of shipping. It goes out first class mail, so it's usually like 2 to 3 days at most. I do turn it around very fast, guys, with any order, whether you order a blender bottle or some samples. If you place it before 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I will get that order out. Now, do bear with me, guys. It is the holidays, and I am kind of in and out of town. I'm gonna preface this whole conversation, guys, and kind of say this throughout the whole conversation that I am not a doctor, I'm not a physician, I am not a registered nurse. So take everything that I'm saying, and I'm just really just trying to educate you. Obviously, do your own research. Obviously, you're here to do some research, and I appreciate you guys being here. But always check with your physician, check with your doctor before you take any supplement of any kind. I always stress that highly, especially as I start talking about like specific ingredients and doses and those sort of things. Like, I don't want anyone to take away anything from the video and kind of just go do whatever they want. I think it's very important that you still check with your doctor and physician before you do these things. So let's just jump right into the video, guys. We were talking about caffeine anhydrous, probably the world's most used drug. Yes, it is considered a drug by most. And the reason why it's not necessarily addictive, but it's habit forming. And what that means is essentially like, you know, you drink your cup of coffee every day, you don't drink your cup of coffee and you kind of have a headache, you feel sluggish, you're tired, those sort of things. Like, that's part of the habit and part of the effects of caffeine anhydrous. So what is caffeine anhydrous? It is a CNS, which is central nervous system, and metabolic stimulant, okay? So what that means is essentially when you ingest it, you eat it, you drink it, whatever, it is basically gonna affect your central nervous system and your metabolism. So very easy to kind of understand in that regard, but we're gonna break it down a little bit further, guys. So again, caffeine kind of subdues the production of adenosine, which is the chemical that causes sleepiness and drowsiness, and with that, obviously, we become a lot more alert. We have a lot more energy, mood elevation potentially. A lot of things like that start to occur when we take these things, and that's why it's really interesting. This is why these videos are actually almost more fun for me to kind of talk about and kind of think about, because we're talking about science, guys, and how the human body actually works. When we think about bodybuilding, when we think about physique athletes, literally they are like scientists with their own body. They know what triggers, you know, a fluctuation in water weight. They know what how to lose the weight, how to keep it off. They like really work out the science of their bodies. And I think that's one of the greatest things about physique athletes, bodybuilders, really anyone that competes, okay? This is both men and women. And I think it's truly amazing what these people are able to do. I personally have never done a show. I think it takes a lot of discipline. It takes years of figuring out the body, and everyone's different. So, you know, listening to one person's advice and one person's coaching could totally throw you off from what your body actually needs. And the only way you figure that out is through, unfortunately, trial and error. So when it comes to caffeine, back to caffeine, guys. I'm all over the place with this video. Caffeine obviously is in a lot, if not every single pre-workout, unless you're taking like a pump product that's a standalone product, or you have a stimulant-free kind of pre-workout or fat burner, that kind of thing. So how do you take caffeine? Obviously, guys, we take caffeine 15 to 30 minutes before we work out. For me personally, I feel the effects of caffeine pretty dang fast, especially right now as I'm still like on a pretty high stim kind of road right now. I feel it within 15 to 20 minutes. And that's kind of the interesting thing with caffeine, guys, is you actually build up a really quick tolerance to it. And coming off of it is kind of difficult sometimes for some people. I personally can come off it pretty easily. I haven't been on a stim break, like a real stim break, in a while. I am planning on doing that here in the next few weeks. I'm not just gonna cut off caffeine completely. I'm gonna slowly decrease and then completely go no caffeine for a little bit, for probably 2 weeks, and then slowly work my way back up. The effects are a lot more intense when you do that. You know, like I said, the tolerance is very quick with caffeine. You feel the effects very fast. And so, you know, I wanna make sure I give my body enough time to kind of rest from caffeine and the stimulant, and you know, I let my body kind of recuperate from all of that. So kind of the loading phase, as you may want to call it, you know, obviously that's more of a creatine thing, but the loading phase for caffeine, you know, typical time is between 1 and 2 weeks to get the full effects of caffeine. Obviously, when you're someone that is very caffeine sensitive, you don't need to take a lot of caffeine to feel it. Personally, for myself, like my girlfriend Katie, she's very, very caffeine sensitive. I mean, to the point where like even 1 cup of coffee will literally get her going, buzzing, moving. So, you know, giving someone like that 200, 300 milligrams, 400 milligrams of caffeine is just not a smart idea. So that's where I think caffeine, and we all are kind of chasing this stim. Everyone's trying to out-stim each other. All these supplement companies are coming out with more DMHA, DMAA, you know, caffeine products, heavy stimulants, guys, to kind of just give everyone that huge boost of energy. And I get it, because there's a lot of people like myself that have been taking a lot of stimulant, and we need more, because again, the tolerance builds, and it's like anything, you know, like weightlifting, you can lift the 20 pounds, you know, for 6 months, and it gets easier and easier, and it's just not even working out. So you have to either do more reps or obviously increase the weight. So in this case, we're increasing the reps, we're doing more caffeine, and you know, it gets to this point where we just can't take anymore. Now, that's the one thing I will say about caffeine, guys, is be careful with caffeine. I think we really go about our daily lives, whether we're work people or in school or whatever it may be, and we drink Red Bulls and we drink Monsters and we drink pre-workouts and we drink fat burners and all of these sort of caffeinated drinks. And I think we really got to be careful with how we're ingesting, how much we're taking. I mean, there has been some issues with people basically overdosing on caffeine and it causing death. Now, this is not meant to scare you guys. This is not meant to, you know, say don't take caffeine. I'm going to continue to take caffeine. I think, again, my personal physician has completely cleared me with caffeine, especially the high amounts that I am taking. And again, someone that's 18 years old that doesn't know any better and takes, you know, a Monster and then takes 400 milligrams of caffeine and then drinks 2 cups of coffee, all these sort of amounts, I mean, you're getting close to a gram of caffeine. That doesn't even include all the other stimulant ingredients that are in the pre-workout, potentially the fat burner, you know, those sort of things. So I love caffeine. It's gonna be on this list because obviously it's probably one of the biggest ingredients, and it's obviously the most used drug in the world. Drug, I use that term kind of lightly in this case because I don't really consider caffeine a drug. It's a weird one, but I digress. You know, I think you just got to be careful, and that's kind of my baseline with this this conversation is not really here to scare you. Obviously, the majority of you guys are very smart, intelligent people. I just want to make sure that I have that conversation, and I'm just open and honest about my kind of feelings with caffeine, and how when I talk about it on the channel, I'm not just saying like, oh, 300 milligrams, that's nothing, you need more. It's very dependent on the person. It's very dependent on where you're at in terms of your consistency with caffeine. I work out 6 days a week. Someone that works out 3 days a week and only takes 3 scoops of pre-workout a week, totally different than someone that takes 7 days of pre-workout or 6 days of pre-workout. It's just completely different. So it's circumstantial, and that's kind of the basis of this kind of talk and talking about caffeine is it's circumstantial. It's going to be different with everyone. So anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you smash that thumbs up button, hit the subscribe and bell for notifications. Again, we're 3 videos away from the top 5 pre-workouts of 2019, in my honest opinion. And stay tuned for tomorrow's video. We'll see you in the next one.